Welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast. On each episode, we interview recovering addicts and learn their story with addiction. Through exploring personal journeys, we get a glimpse of the depths addicts fall to and their path in recovery. We hope you enjoy the episode. Hi, everybody. My name's Kevin, and welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast.
Hello, Kevin.
Hi. And with us is our co-host, as always,
Josh, addict.
the lovely co-host, might I add. And today, again, we're on location up in Northern California at a convention, the TAC convention, TAC. And we have our guest today is our friend
Renee.
Hi,
Addict.
Renee. You're an addict.
I am.
That's a good reason to be here. Yeah.
We introduce as addicts because we all participate in recovery, but this podcast isn't specifically geared towards one specific program or like we're able to openly talk about religion specifically, or if you participate in Alcoholics Anonymous or
Any other anonymous.
Correct.
That's
yeah.
great because I'm trisexual.
Nice, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and that's cool here. Yeah.
So it's very common for us to start like early beginnings, childhood, and
Clean date.
thank you, Josh.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
always forget that.
My clean day is September 24th, 2016.
Nice.
Years?
9.5, almost.
Okay, so 9 years.
Yes. Oh, no. I count every month. Come
Yeah,
on.
I don't blame you.
I work
blame
for
you.
each one.
That's good. That's good. So your childhood, your like household when you were young, you have it like earliest memories of something traumatic.
If you think about the trajectory that got you to getting loaded and things that stand out in your childhood prior to getting loaded, trauma, environment,
Abuse.
yeah, things that things that you saw, things that you were taught that kind of pushed you in the direction of eventually getting loaded. Like what stands out as pivotal moments that pushed you in that direction? Things that stand out as far back as you can remember.
Okay. I don't have a whole lot of early childhood memories other than what my mom shares with me, like that she forgot me at church one time and had to go back and get me. My mom and my dad got divorced when I was 4 years old. So I have no memories of them ever being together.
Oh.
I only had memories of them being friends. And they each remarried. So actually they each remarried 4 times. But
Okay, that's a lot.
yeah. So early childhood memories, I would bounce back and forth between living with each of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting how our minds construct things or perceive things until we're at a point where either we're confronted with the reality of things or until we're at a point where we're able to actually see it in the light that it actually is.
Yeah.
So I told myself that I was very lucky to have the choice of always living with whichever one I wanted. And when I lived with my dad, it was like a big family style because he was with my stepmom and there was 4 of us kids, sometimes 5. She had 2 children already, a son and a daughter, and the daughter was 1 month in age difference for me.
Oh, no kidding.
And then they had my little brother together,
Is it
and then
just you and your little brother? Do you have other siblings?
so, and then my sister, my dad also had from his first marriage before my mom.
Okay, you're
So I have a half brother, a half sister, and then a step brother and a stepsister.
Okay.
And sometimes it was all 5 of us, but usually it was just the 4 youngest of us. And so I was the oldest. And my sister was 1 month younger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I lived with my mom.
Your stepsister was a month.
Stepsister, yeah.
Got it.
It
When
would
I
be
lived with
weird
my-
the other way.
Yeah, that would be weird. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh.
Well, if it was half, it's possible.
No, half, yes.
Yeah.
but
Oh, that'd be interesting. Oh, well, actually, I found out that I have a half brother that's older than me that I didn't know about until I did a 23andMe about 4 years ago. Yeah, and he lives in Sacramento.
Trip.
no way, really?
Yeah, this whole time. I don't even know if my dad ever knew.
Is that where you grew up, in Sacramento?
I was born in Sacramento. I've lived I'm mostly in Sacramento, but I consider Auburn my home.
Got it.
Oh, wow.
Do you live in Auburn now?
No, Roseville now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So when I was living with my mom, it was my mom and my stepdad, or my mom and my uncle and me. But it was often me.
Oh, they were not really at home?
Not a lot, no. It was often me. So either I had this family unit that was like, my stepmom made us all matching outfits for Easter.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah, you know, like from the outside looking in, it would look like a very family-oriented, beautiful, close-knit scenario. And then there was the polar opposite at my mom's, where I had independence, freedom, got to do whatever I wanted because there was nobody really supervising me. Also got to learn how to take care of myself in many ways.
Wow. How old were you? So like,
That was from like
4
11
to-
years old on, like, yeah, I think 11 or 12 was when I moved back in with my mom. And yeah,
So at your mom's, you were a latchkey kid?
yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And my mom was doing the best she could. She was either being a slave to codependency and choosing him,
Yeah.
or she was single and working the hours that I would be home from school, you know.
Do you have any recollection of the feelings that you had over that period of time of like, looking back now, was there feelings of abandonment?
At the time, I knew that I was lonely a lot. Like I was
Okay.
in Rancho Cordova for a long period of time, and I remember I would walk down Folsom Boulevard by myself. My mom would be at this bar called the Wits End. Oh, sorry. Oops.
No, that's good.
It's not even there anymore. Anyway, she would be at that bar with my stepdad, and they would give me a few bucks, and I would walk down to the A&W and entertain myself for hours, or the Baskin Robbins, which was miles away. And
So you're just on your own.
yeah, and then there was a polar difference to when I was at my dad's house, where we were very dirt poor. Like we ate shit on a shingle a lot, which was, our version of it was white bread toast with cream of tuna poured over it, which to this day I cannot eat white bread I can't eat white bread really unless it's sourdough, and I can't eat anything soggy. I can't do it.
Hey, we were just having a conversation about that childhood stuff and specific foods.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't do peas or spinach because of trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
exactly.
forced to sit at the table until it was gone.
Hey, that's the same conversation I had. I like peas when I was like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't eat the peas, and I stayed there until like 11:30 at night at the kitchen table, and then they put it in the fridge, and they were forced me to eat it for breakfast. Yeah. I never ate it, but I got in hella fucking trouble.
Are you able to eat biscuits and gravy?
I was for a while I was still in my active addiction. Now in recovery, I can't. But in my active addiction, it was the one thing I knew how to cook. And that was because I used a package and pop open biscuits.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just curious. It's sad to not be able to eat biscuits and gravy.
I was able to, but I have actually since then, I turned it to crispy potatoes with gravy is way more my go-to.
That sounds good too.
It is so good.
All right, so yeah, food. So
Okay.
You're a latchkey kid growing up, and you do look back and you see the feelings that you had of abandonment,
Yes, but-
loneliness.
There's a little bit more there.
Yeah.
So in the loneliness, the feeling of abandonment at my mom's, I did really kind of turn to, she had an extensive album collection. And so every day I would get home from school and I would just explore her different albums, and music
Music.
became my companion.
Fuck yeah.
And
Yeah. It was your escape.
it was my friend.
Uh-huh.
It was always there for me. And then I was living with my dad and the family down there.
What's the one album or band or group or artist that stands out from that period of time for you?
Okay, well,
Or what genre was it?
Sure, that too.
she had every single Beatles album there is.
Okay.
Are these vinyl?
Yes.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Okay.
I think she still has them.
That's sweet.
And then she had a lot of Simon Garfunkel. I did a lot of Roy Orbison. A lot of Tommy James and the Shondells. In fact, I was going to remake I Think We're Alone Now, and then Tiffany did it. And I was like, well, that blows that. And then she named me after a song by the Left Bank, Walk Away Renee.
Aw.
So that one also. I really loved music. But when I was living at my dad's house in the community lifestyle, right? We were living in El Paso, Texas. I was living there for about 3 years, up until, I want to say, my freshman year. And then for some reason, they were like accusing me of being on drugs, and I had never touched any drugs at all. But I think I was experiencing depression, and they were accusing me of being on drugs. And so I decided I want to go live with my mom. So I moved back in with my mom. And then I was living with my mom for about maybe less than half a year, less than 6 months. And then I guess my dad and my stepmom were getting a divorce. She decided
Was
to
it
leave
your
them.
stepmom or your dad or everybody collectively were just like they were telling you that they think you're on drugs? Like, how did that look?
It
And
was
what did that create for you?
my stepmom and my dad, and
Together, you think collectively they felt that way, or did it feel like one or the other?
I don't remember really.
Yeah.
But I just remember it made me feel like persecuted in a way, like instead of caring about me, like I'm being accused of something, and what I really need right now is actually
Nurturing.
yeah. And so I decided to go live with my mom so I could be not nurtured up there.
Right.
And less than 6 months of being there, I can remember the day very clear. I was at our house at the time we lived in Cameron Park, and my uncle, it was his home, and my mom and I were living there, and these friends of ours, Dale, and I forget his son's name, that we would go camping trips with and stuff, they showed up out of the blue, and it was like a weekend day, and they were like, oh, we're going to take you to go to Marine World Africa, USA, and you get to pick a friend to go with you.
In Belmont.
And so I decided to take my friend Beth, and we had the most exciting, wonderful day. And it was really cool. And then we got back at the house, and that's when I found out why I was given such a beautiful day. It was because my dad was being arrested, or had been arrested for molesting my stepsister,
Shit.
who I had shared a room with for the last 3 years.
But you were living with your mom at the time?
I had just moved in less than 6 months ago, and that's when I guess right after I left is when it all
Came out.
And so my dad was arrested and put in jail, and he started writing me letters and, telling me how much he loved me, and how that he believed that she had a boyfriend in Oregon, and she was trying to take my little brother out of state, and that's why she was saying this, and that she convinced my stepsister to say this so that they could take Jimmy and take him up to Oregon. And so I was angry. How could they do this to my dad? And I stopped talking to them, even though they were trying to reach out to me. And
You feel that your dad manipulated you now?
Hmm?
You feel that your dad manipulated you, right?
Do you know?
I know
do
it
you,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the time, no, I believed
you
him
believe him.
100%.
Yeah. Well, it's your
How
dad.
did you get? I guess this is a jump forward a little bit, but where did you find like absolute? Like how do you know that he was telling the truth versus her?
So I just believed him because he was my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was his little girl. And, I always had so many good memories, right?
Well, what made you stop believing him?
Okay. That's a good question.
Yeah.
what made me stop believing him is I got into recovery. And through my first run of steps, I have the most amazing sponsor in the world, who was very gentle and at the same time helped me to really, really uncover things and really get to the heart of things and feel comfortable doing that because of 100% trust in her and seeing her results of recovery, because I've known her for 23 years from before recovery. And she was able to help me get to a point where I was ready to make an amends to my stepmom and my stepsister, who I had cut out of my life despite their attempts to put me in their life.
Yeah.
And so I friended them on Facebook. And then they reached out to me. They were throwing a surprise party for my little brother in Las Vegas, and they invited me to come. And I was dating somebody in recovery at the time. And he said he would go with me for support because I was planning on going out there and making my amends to them. Like, despite, and at this time, I'm still thinking, you know, I still am, you know, in my dad's corner.
Really?
Right? Even though I'm starting to see that a lot of incongruencies in my childhood. And since then, every time I see him, just really kind of seeing his behavior and seeing him as a complete, and I hate this word so much because it's such a label, but as a complete narcissist, including the way he was treating his present wife and just the controlling way that he was, and just his behavior was like
Unhealthy?
extremely. And I was very, very aware of that. And it made it hard for me to be around him in recovery because now I was like taking his inventory all the time, which I was like, oh, here I am taking his inventory. That's bad on me, right? But at the same time, I was like, oh boy, he needs a lot of work, right? But he's, you know, really late in the age and he's probably not going to do it, right? So I just was trying to love him where he's at, and every moment that I have with him, make it count, because you don't have moments after that, right? That are guaranteed.
Yeah.
So that's where I was at there. But there was that little wedge in the door of like, his behavior is not congruent with my memories from childhood, right? And I'm a lot more aware of a little bit more of a reality. And so I agree to go out to this party for my little brother, and we drive out there, and I'm like nervous, and I'm like, okay, I don't even know how this is going to go or when I'm going to say it or what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
But I'm just ready, right? So we got there. And I think we got there late at night, like maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock. And my half-sister was already there. She had drove from Colorado to go there also.
Wow.
And I got greeted at the door by my stepmom and my sister with hugs.
They obviously forgave you.
Well, as soon as I got there and felt that hug from her, and she just started asking me how I was, and telling me how much she had missed me and how much she loved me. And you know how you can, I mean, like, as an addict, like when somebody says something to me, I know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Even if I don't want to see or hear that it's real or not from my inside at the moment, but I know in the moment, you can feel it. I think we all can feel it, authenticity. And when she was hugging me and talking to me, I felt it, and it was authentic. And I had this moment of like, I've been wrong this whole time.
That's really heavy. Yeah. That must have been really, really hard for you to realize that you carried that for so long.
Did you guys talk about it at all while you were there?
Oh, yeah. So later on that night, my sister came home to the place, the Airbnb, and she was also very loving and welcoming. And they were kind of catching me up on where they're at, and they were just so authentic and loving and nurturing and everything that I hadn't had in so long. And
Were you there by yourself, or did you have your support with you at there, or did he just come down there with you and like maybe he was at the hotel or something?
they insisted that we stay there. My sister
Got it.
gave up her room for us to stay in. And so,
You had support there.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. So I did the amends with my stepmom that night.
Oh, awesome.
And she said there was nothing to amend for, but I felt so guilty for shutting her out of my life and being so cold. And when I think about it, like, I think the hardest part was just feeling guilty for what they had been through. You know, and here I was, I had defended my dad. I'm going to go back a little bit. I had defended my dad in court, first in Texas, and then he got extradited to Sacramento County and had another trial there, and I defended him there. And he got a hung jury both times, and he ended up being able to walk after 3 years of being in jail.
I'm just curious, why did he have trial in 2 different states? Did he have multiple cases against him?
He had done it in both states. So the charges were in both states.
Wow.
And so as soon as he was hung jury in Texas, they extradited him over into Sacramento County.
And hung jury is?
They can't come to an agreement of guilty or
Got it.
innocent.
Yeah. That's a horrific thing to go through. Let's go back to your childhood. Your dad's going through this. This is where we left off. Is your dad is getting arrested for this, and then how did it progress to like you actually getting loaded?
Okay, it was within a month of
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
The same girl that I went to Marine World with,
Yeah.
her mom had a party and she had a couple of us friends over, and we kept grabbing the bottles of vodka and drinking that. And then
So this is, you moved back to California, got the notification or information your dad was being arrested. A month later, you're at a party and this happens.
Yes.
Got it.
Have you drank before this?
no,
This is the very first time.
yes.
When that very first drink, did it change the way you feel?
I think so. I was I was very fast with it, and all I can really remember about it was the kitchen floor coming up to me.
Hit in your face?
Yeah. And then I remember being outside of our house, which nobody was home at the time, so that was good. And I don't know how they got me inside, but I woke up with green vomit all over my room, all over my bed, and my mom knocking on the door and coming in, and she's like, well, Beth's mom called me, and it looks like you punished yourself. I'm not going to punish you. And I was like, all right. And she's like, but you have to keep your plans that we had today. And I was like, what plans? And she's like, yeah, we're going rafting. And so she took me on a 6-hour rafting trip, and she made me sit in the alcohol raft and pass out the beers and the drinks to all of her friends. Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it was
Dude,
gnarly.
hungover?
I'm curious, what was green?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, all
But it was
right.
green all over.
It was one of those
disgusting.
nights.
Yeah. And then the very next time, I think was probably the very next weekend, a friend of ours was going out of town, and she gave us the keys to her house because
Cuz?
Innocent little kids.
innocent little kid. And she's like, yeah, you guys can hang at my house. And because we were a little bit older than her. And so we ended up throwing a party. It was going to be small, but then it didn't end up small. And then I ended up like drinking, smoking probably about a half an eighth of weed, and doing a line of methamphetamine, and then taking some acid. All in the same
Fuck
night.
yeah, dude. Starting off strong.
You know what? That's
And then the
so
party got
funny.
busted by cops. And I remember because we had people falling through the, whatchamacallit, in the
Ceiling
garage
tile?
ceiling,
Oh, the
and they
attic?
were coming through because there was a wine, whatever, cellar up there. And, or not, that's not a cellar if it's up
wine-
there. Anyways,
They
yeah.
were missing the rafters and falling through
And
the
yeah, they were
sheetrock.
falling through, and then the cops came, and so we were all running, and I ended up getting in the car with my friend's older sister and this guy named Jimmy, who had like a bowl haircut and this little man purse. And we were driving down this like...
He had goodies in his man purse.
Yeah, and we were driving down this windy road, and like when he found out that I was on acid, all I know is that like we were driving to her grandma's house in Placerville, and it was this winding road with all these trees, and every time we were passing a tree, he was all, shoo, And I was just going,
Oh, thank God for that guy, dude.
it was fucking great.
Bowl haircut Jimmy, dude. He knew
And he had
exactly.
like one long strand of hair though in
He
the
did
front.
not miss the assignment.
Oh no, he was fucking great. It's probably why I remember his name to this day. Yeah.
That's good.
So I was curious. Your first time smoking pot. This whole thing
Yeah.
was like a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
And then when you actually felt the buzz, were you saying to yourself, "Oh, I really like this feeling"?
Yeah. Every time somebody was like offering me the next thing, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
So you bought it. You're
Yes. And when they gave me the weed, the reason why I say I smoked half an eighth is because he gave me the pipe and the bag and the lighter, and then somebody called his name, and he said, "Here." And I thought it meant that you were supposed to smoke the whole thing, so I just kept smoking it. I didn't know, like he was just giving me like a bowl. But, yeah. So he came back, and I was like, "Oh, I thought you meant just take it. I didn't know."
And you already done lines of.
No, the lines came after that because then I was really tired, and my friends hopped me in a car, and we went to a gas station, and they were like, "This will help."
Wow.
And then they took me back to the party. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like experiencing getting loaded.
And you were how old? 12, 13?
13 or 14.
When did it become like a must-have? When did the addiction hit?
I mean, that was one weekend you drank, next weekend that happened, and then was it like off and running from that point on, or was it gradual, or was there a specific drug of choice? What kind of happened?
I would say that it was like more of like a weekend thing. But then my mom was like bartending at night. So, and my uncle who I lived with, he worked graveyard shifts. So I was often home alone after school. And so sometimes I'd have my friends come over, and then we'd get into my mom's liquor cabinet, and then we just water it down or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was doing that on weeknights, but I would just go out and party on the weekends. And yeah, I mean, I remember we even used to snort Nodos. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the only ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when did
So it was
the addiction?
it was mildly functional for a while. You went to school, still did normal stuff, and partied on the weekends.
And then I moved to
graduate?
Auburn.
You what?
Then I moved to Auburn.
Oh, you say
How
that
old
like
were-
triumphantly.
How old were you when you moved to Auburn?
It was the middle of my sophomore year.
So you went
14,
to so you went
15.
to Placer?
Yes.
Where did you live in Auburn?
I lived in the Skyridge area.
Got it.
There used to be like a Mormon church right there on the corner of Poet Smith and Carolyn, I want to say, or something like that. Anyways, I lived right on the corner across the street
It's a
from
cool
the church.
little area.
Yeah.
So you started getting loaded pretty heavily in Auburn.
When I got into Auburn, then I met friends, and we would go down to the river, and took a lot of hallucinogens, did a lot of meth, smoked a lot of weed, drank a lot. Yeah, all of it.
When do you think the dysfunction started, and what was like the turning point, you think? Do you remember it being like the party doesn't stop anymore? Like, was there a period of time where that happened?
Yeah, definitely. It was probably as soon as I graduated.
So 18.
17, I graduated at 17.
Way to hold it together until you got done with high school.
Yeah. Well, I used until I was 45. I held it together for a long fucking time, to some degree. I mean, like there was definitely times where it was not held together at all. But yeah, so as soon as I graduated, then I didn't have a reason why I couldn't use every day. And so there was no reason not to use every day something, right? And so, yeah, I remember me and my friend, I'll just say her first name, Vicky. She and I started hanging out, and she was like just as into it as me. We were like little runners together. And so we started living out of my car together. And I had 3 jobs at the time. So she would like hang out in my car while I was at work in my shift. And she would just hang out in my car and, wait till I got off work. And we were doing that for, I think, a month or something. And then she found this spot where we could go and stay for free, right? Because all of the money was going on just getting us loaded. Yeah. So I didn't have money to pay rent or anything like that, And, I still hadn't figured out what my hustle was yet. So, she took me to this trailer and she said, I know the person who owns this. We can stay here for free. And we went in there and it was like, now that I look back on it, it was the most foul.
Did you think it was foul when you
I
went
did
in?
not care.
That
I
is
did not
exactly
care. It did
right
not even
there.
faze me.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting a little bit of money from going to work, and we're getting loaded.
Yeah. And it was a spot to get loaded without having to go find a spot to get loaded.
Yeah.
And to fall asleep if I needed to do that.
Yeah.
Right? So we were there for maybe a week, and we started cleaning, because if we're going to be there, we wanted to have it at
And you're
least.
tweaking.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Pairs of the bed's comfortable. We won't use it much.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this man showed up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He was older, and he told us he was going to be living there too. And we didn't know him. But I knew his brother, and he had dope. So we're like, okay.
Huh. Was he a lot older than you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like about, I want to say like at least 10, 11, 12 years, 13
All
years
right.
older than me.
So 30.
He was in his early 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a scary person.
It sounds like it. Does he have some part of like trauma with you? Yeah? Is that really heavy? Yeah. Yeah, it's okay if you're uncomfortable talking about it.
I've done a lot of work over it.
Yeah, there's a lot of women that it really helps to hear other women freely talk about like sexual abuse or rape or stuff like that.
Okay.
So
I can talk
just
about
saying,
it.
yeah.
So me and Vicky were there living, and it's kind of a blurry first month of living there, but I know that like Vicky was there, and then all of a sudden she wasn't there, and I don't remember what happened where all of a sudden she wasn't there, and I was only the one living there with him.
Really?
And I remember I had a friend, Kenny, that lived at a couple trailers down. That was cool. I would sometimes go escape over there and play guitar with him. And then I had made friends with the guy next door who was also a little bit weird, but
Is this like a modular park or something?
yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
And so, but
In Auburn?
yeah. And so, but he would take me, he had a girlfriend, the guy that was living there with us, with me. And he had a girlfriend, and he would make me go over there with him, and be cool and hang out. But he was raping me, and he said I wasn't allowed to leave. And it's so weird when I look back on it because, like, he never had me tied to anything. Like, I was not chained up there, but he did threaten me, and he also threatened me not to tell anybody. And he kept telling me, we would make really beautiful babies. And
Did it turn like into, the twisted Stockholm syndrome?
no, I was just scared to death. And even though there was nobody like chaining me up there, I felt like I couldn't leave. I was afraid to leave. And
Drugs are real.
yeah.
Well, that
And there was
fear.
I just felt like very intimidated by him. He was a very scary individual, and in the circle that I knew, like they all talked about him, like him and his brothers were kind of infamous, like you don't fuck around with them. And
What year is this? Do you know? Roughly?
89, 90.
Okay.
And anyways, so I did, like I said, kind of made friends with the weird guy next door. And so I started planning my escape.
Wow.
And so I started talking more to the guy next door whenever the guy living there, I'm not going to say his name,
No.
but whenever he would leave to go run an errand or do something, I would go talk to the guy next door and kind of make friends with them. And he would have chicks come over and I would make friends with them. And I was just kind of building this, like, I'm a human being and, and just making it trying to build some sort of a rapport with him, I guess. Now, in retrospect, that's what I was doing. I wasn't really sure what I was doing at the time. But anyways, it came down to it, and I said, look, I'm going to need to hide out here for a couple days. And I need you to not tell him that I'm here. And he agreed to help me with that. And so I just determined when it was going to be, and then I did. I went over there, I stayed there, and he came looking for me multiple times, asking about me, and dude did not give me up. And I was super grateful. And then finally I was able to get a hold of a phone, because, you know, this is back before like cell phones really.
Yeah.
I was able to get a hold of a phone call, and I called like the biggest, baddest dude that I knew from my little circle of tweakers. And I asked him to please come get me. And he came and got me and took me to his house. And he was cool, and I felt safe with him, and I was super grateful for him rescuing me. Even though, like, I think I was sleeping with him too, but that was like, I said yes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I was showing gratitude.
Yeah, it probably felt like a savior model.
Yeah. So then I was asking him if he would help me go back to the trailer to get my stuff, because I left my motorcycle there. I had a motorcycle, and I had left, I don't even know what I had left there that was so important that I would even want to go back. But I felt super safe because this guy was just such a big badass, and he also had like a reputation for being a badass. And he was like, fuck yeah, fuck that dude. I'll go with you. And so he drives me over there in his Bronco that doesn't have like a top or anything, right? And we pull up, and before I can even get out, or he even gets out, before we even park the thing, dude comes out and starts beating on him my friend that's in the driver's seat, until he like finally is able to reverse us out and get us out of there, right? And
that's traumatic.
yeah.
What's your mobile home park? Is it off of Bell Road, Vampire Village?
Yes, It is Vampire Village.
So I was envisioning the whole time that's probably where it was. Yeah.
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 Yeah, it turns out that the reason why my friend Vicky did disappear is because the guy that was, I think his mom was the manager of the mobile home park or whatever, he cornered her in the laundry room and was trying to assault her. And that's when she ended up leaving. Me and her have talked since then, since my recovery, and she's cleared some things up for me, and I cleared some things up for her, and we both didn't realize the traumas we had experienced there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Neither one of us had connected it with each other. But
They call it Vampire Village for a reason.
yeah, it was fucked up. It was a very, like, I think a lot of it, I still don't really have a lot of recollection of it, and I think that's okay. Anyways,
did that type of thing continue? Like, you got out of that situation, did you keep putting yourself in more dangerous situations?
yeah. Oh, and then my friend, the big badass, wanted to file charges against him, and then I was subpoenaed to testify, and I was like, I can't fucking do that. There's no way. He will kill me. And luckily that it got dismissed and it didn't end up happening. So I was grateful for that. Anyways, I moved out of the area, down to the Sacramento area, and yes, I found myself like bartending, and there was a bowling alley that was open 24 hours and a couple pool halls that were open 24 hours, and I would go hang out at them after the bartending hours. And I found myself, there was one time I also ended up, this guy asked me if I wanted to go do some drugs, and he took me to this place in Rio Linda, and it was like an abandoned home that was like condemned, and there was like no running water, no electricity, nothing. And he ended up taking my motorcycle, because I did end up getting my motorcycle back, by the way.
Oh.
I had somebody go get it for me. And he ended up taking my motorcycle and leaving me there, and he wouldn't let me like call anybody or anything. And so I found myself again, like so I ended up walking all the way down to, there's where Marysville Boulevard and Del Paso, like.
So some miles.
Or
away.
Dry Creek and Rio Linda Boulevard. I don't know. It's where they come together, and there's like a payphone there. And I made it to that payphone. I walked there one day, and I called my friend Janet, and she was a little petite thing, but she was not afraid of anything. And I said, this is where I'm at. You need to come get me. being held here and he won't let me leave. And she came, and then I was like, okay, thank you. I'm like, he has my motorcycle. And she's like, well, we're going back there and we're waiting for him and we're getting your motorcycle. I said, okay. And she did. She like waited for him, and she scared the fuck out of him. And I got my motorcycle, and she ended up like letting me live with her for a little while. Yeah. So she was like my street mom.
Nice.
Yeah. They called her Janet from another planet.
She sounds like a character.
She was.
So, like events like this kept happening.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it become a pattern for you?
No, you know what changed about that pattern is that actually that's not true. There was one more.
So one more situation like this.
It wasn't like I was held up against my will, but it was a on and off relationship that was mostly on with somebody who was a drug dealer for 7 years.
That's a good chunk of change right there.
Yeah, who like it's the crazy part is like 1 year into it.
Dope meth the whole time?
Oh yeah. And 1 year into the relationship, I found out that when he said he was going home to his family's house in West Sac, that he was actually, because he had a son with his ex, who he told me was crazy. Anyways, he was actually leaving my apartment to go live with her less than a mile away. Yeah.
So you were like side hustle?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, but then
They both could have been side hustles.
yeah, that's the thing. Is like the
You never
truth
know.
is like he was never with just one person ever. Like I'm pretty sure he slept with all of my friends, and the ones that wouldn't sleep with him, he would tell me that they didn't have my back and they were like talking bad about me or whatever. And it comes to find out like that he was just trying to really isolate me, which he did do a good job of. I ended up with no vehicle of my own, from having a vehicle in my own place to becoming completely dependent on him and separated from all my friendships. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the master
How long did you know that he was sleeping with other women and doing other shady shit? How long did you know that? And how long did you stay with him after you knew?
I knew that pretty much after that one thing happened 1 year in. I knew it basically because my eyes were open to it, and it kept on and off still for another 6 years. And the truth is like I was not an angel either. So like, but I would break up with him every time I wanted to go sleep with somebody, and it was always the same person. This friend that I had that was just like my safe haven to go disappear for a couple days, a little lost weekend. I'd break up and then I'd come back and
Start the process all over again.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
it'll be different this time. Right?
Well, and the truth is like, I didn't have to worry about drugs when I was with him.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I didn't have to worry about people would take care of me because I was his girlfriend.
True.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, so I have 2 friends in recovery today.
Some sort of sense of belonging and all of that.
There was. And I have 2 friends in recovery today that he dealt drugs to. That are my friends that I've known since then, and they've got substantial years clean. And like, so it's really cool. And it's so funny because they both have the same name, but it's super cool to come into recovery and to have seen them, because I know where they were at too, and they were at where I was at. And if they can do this, then
Yeah.
no, I can.
Yeah, no kidding. So that whole process, you said you got clean at what age?
45 years old.
So it took a while. What led up to the end, the rock bottom? And did you try recovery once and stay?
How did you get clean?
Yeah. How'd you get here?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So there's a little side story I have to tell too.
Yeah, do it.
So I was bartending in the like Fair Oaks, Citrus Heights area. I had been bartending for years, right?
Okay.
By this time, I'm like in my early 30s, and then I make friends with this one guy who's like 10 years younger than me, and he's doing drugs, and he was a regular at the bar, and we started seeing each other for like 1 month, and then he's like, I want to quit and stop doing meth, and I was like, yeah, me too, and he's like, I'm gonna move back to my hometown area. You want to go? And I was like, sure.
Wow, just that easy.
Yeah. So I moved down to Visalia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of far.
Yeah, it is kind of far.
Not much going on there, is there?
No.
It's a little
Visalia
bit of
is like, the
nothing.
only way you know it is if you stop for gas there on your way to LA or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
So I ended up in Visalia, and 1 month after being there, I did stop doing meth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm cured. Right? And 1 month after being there, I got pregnant. And so I had my daughter. And I was abstinent for like the first 8 months of the pregnancy. I drank in the last month of pregnancy lightly. And then I had my daughter. And then as soon as I had my daughter, I was like, well, now I can be normal and just drink and smoke weed.
Like a normal person.
Yeah, totally. Now that I'm not a drug addict anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I had that same mentality. It's like drug addicts shot heroin in the alleyways in San Francisco or the stoops.
I did it so many times. I'd get out of jail and I'm just going to drink and smoke weed, or I'm just going to smoke weed over. And I tell myself the same story over and over again. Like, everything's going to be fine. It's not the weed. I just can't do that. And then eventually it would be like, I would smoke and then I would consciously be like, this is not cutting it. And all I had to do was change the way I felt a little bit. And then it was that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The weed actually, it was easy for me to lighten up on that. I mean, I love the smell of it and all, but after having my daughter, like every time I would get loaded on weed, I would feel like a bad parent. I was like, if something like emergent happens right now, I am not capacitated to take care of my baby.
Wow. No, that's awesome.
No, seriously. And I felt like, oh my God,
this, man.
like I've got to be, yeah. So I was like, I'm just going to drink. Because when I'm drinking, I'm surely more capacitated.
The perception is always interesting to look back on, right?
I just feel like maybe it was the paranoia that I was experiencing. I would get some paranoia over that.
And alcohol is like
it didn't give me the paranoia.
and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that's where I was at. But okay, on occasion, if like she wasn't with me, then I would, still get stoned.
So you're still in Visalia. Mm-hmm. You got a kid. You're drinking, smoking occasionally. Mm-hmm. Are you still with the guy? I imagine you had the kid with the guy you went down there with. Mm-hmm. And then where does that take you? Where do you end up?
So I'm there, and I'm super unhappy because I'm drinking a lot, and so is my baby daddy, right? Mm-hmm. And his behavior, like I would say, you got a problem, because he would fall asleep on the shopping bags on the kitchen floor. So he was way having a problem. I didn't have a problem because I only drank every day, but I didn't get like that.
You're not on the floor.
Right. Right. So I was like, this is problematic, and I was not happy. And, I'm pretty sure I was never in love with him. Right. He was, now that I look back on it, he was my escape plan. Right.
All right.
That I tried to make it work with. And so I'm there, and then Facebook's up and about, and I'm on Facebook one day, and
this is after MySpace.
This is during MySpace, yeah. Yeah. I had MySpace too. Me and Anastasia stayed connected on MySpace. My sponsor, by the way. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm on Facebook, and somebody who I had started dating after Vampire Alley, who was in my little circle of friends there, that I'd known since high school, who was from that area, friended me on there. And I was like, hey, we should exchange numbers. And so we exchanged numbers, and he gave me his number, and it was the same area code as mine. And I was all, where do you live? He's all, I'm in Springville. And that was like 15 minutes away from me. And I was like, no way. I was like,
that's a small world.
Yeah, it was so weird. And then so I was like, we got to go on a hike or something, right? And so I took my daughter, we got in the car, we went and picked him up, and we went to the Sequoia National Forest, and we went hiking. And it was amazing, like this sense of freedom. He reminded me who I was, because I had lost who I was. He reminded me of who I was, and that person came to life again. And
Yeah.
It was in that moment I was like, oh, I'm in trouble.
Where you're at.
I'm in trouble. And I knew I could no longer be okay with where I'm at.
Was this like a realization about doing drugs?
No.
Just physically where you were living, your situation, or what?
My situation, where I was at in my life. And he felt the same. And we were talking on the phone and talking and talking. And we would sneak away and find times to be together. And then he's like, let's get married. Let's go back up to Auburn. Take your daughter with you. Get established with a job. I'll save up some money down here and I'll come up there in a few months. We'll go to Yosemite. We'll get married. We'll start our life. And what I didn't understand at the time is that he was actually clean. He had gotten out of prison and he was clean and he was living with actually somebody in recovery who had helped him. And so when he was hanging out with me, I would get him to drink a couple beers, but that wasn't his problem. Heroin was his problem. So beer wasn't a problem. And he was okay with that too. So, we would drink. Anyway, so we had this plan. So I told my baby daddy, I was like, you have a problem with alcohol. I'm not happy and I'm going home and I'm taking Belle and we'll figure it out, like what that's going to look like. But for now, like I need to go and start a life, And so I talked to some friends that I had since high school up here, and one of them had a pool house I could stay in. So I did that. I stayed there, and I got a job right away. And Tolly would come and visit me like every couple weeks. He would spend like 4 or 5 days. He would take the train up. And it was really wonderful because I felt alive again. And we would have gift times with all of our friends now, and life felt real again. But I was drinking excessively. And then so long distance was a little bit hard for me because I don't know if anybody else in recovery can. I know that a lot of people can relate to this, but I was extremely anxious in relationships and I constantly needed validation and constantly was afraid of abandonment, probably because of the neglect of my younger years.
Yeah, connects.
And now in retrospect, I look at it, because my mom always chose him and because my dad always chose her. And in some sick way, my dad loved my stepsister and gave her all the attention, which I now know was very sick attention, but that still was attention I didn't get. And I see that. So
we're twisted, aren't we?
Yeah.
I get it.
It was like a very, very hard thing to look at. So anyways, long story short.
Once you saw it though, I bet you it was a pretty big aha moment.
Oh, fuck yeah, it was.
Oh, shit. Whoa.
Yeah, so I got scared and I broke up with him and I blocked him on everything, because...
Couldn't handle the distance.
Yeah, because what happened is I got pregnant and we decided that it wasn't the best time to have the child. And so I scheduled an abortion and he was running a marathon that weekend and he wasn't willing to give up the marathon to come be with me to support me for that. So I was like, yeah, I'm out.
So you're a little bit clear-headed in making decisions like that.
Well, that's why I was able to run it into the ground until 45 years old.
Nice. Nice.
Anyway, so I ended that and I never looked back and I stayed up here in this area. And then a couple months later, baby daddy moved up here, got sober for a year and then asked me to take him back. And so I went back into that relationship.
The one that you left in Visalia.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And he did not, well, everybody knows, they know something, right? He knew, but it was never confirmed that I left to be with someone. So I just never admitted to that. And anyway, so I just picked up right where I'd left off of being completely miserable in that relationship. And
you're like leading up to getting clean.
yeah, I am. So what happened is eventually I was drinking very, very excessively, and it got to the point where I finally had that really like, I cannot keep my rails on the track anymore.
Yeah.
And so I ended that relationship. And once I did that, he moved out, and then I was really out of control, extremely suicidal. It took only a matter of months that it was so bad. I had been reprimanded at work, and they told me, you need to get your shit together. And I was like, I was unable to go for even a few hours. I would go do about 5 cases of Whippets a day. I would drink about a handle a day. And
That's a lot.
it is a lot. And I was extremely sick. My body was extremely sick.
You're lucky
and,
you survived through that. The Whippets and the alcohol.
Oh, I know. I would be to where I couldn't walk across the room and breathe. I would have I wouldn't be able to catch a breath. And then the very next morning, first thing, waiting for it to open so I could go get more. Yeah.
Damn.
Anyways.
We have a friend whose brother just recently, Whippets and alcohol took him out.
Yeah.
He was young. Young. It seems weird. Whippets and alcohol, like when you think of like overdoses, you think of like heroin, fentanyl, whatever. But Whippets and alcohol will fuck you up.
Yeah. Well, the worst part is they weren't even getting me high anymore. They weren't.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, I maxed out 3 credit cards.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So did you find yourself in a meeting? Did somebody take you to a meeting? Did you end up in treatment? What kind of...
So I remember the last week very, very clearly, and I'm super grateful for that.
All right.
Okay. The last week, I found myself with extremely unexcusable behaviors, crossing a lot of lines I never thought I would. Both sexually, degradingly, every last minuscule molecule of self-esteem I had left, I fucking pushed it out. And I ended up showing up at work just wasted for a big event. And they said, we can't do this for you. We can't cover for you anymore. We're going to call an Uber to come pick you up. And we'll see you in a couple days to talk about what we're going to do. And I was in the guard shack waiting for the Uber. And I had a moment. I was like, I just can't do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super fortunate because somebody who had worked with me there had gotten into recovery and gone into rehab while they were working there. And so I called him and I said, hey, Sina, I can't do this anymore. I think I have a problem. Will you come pick me up and take me to a meeting? And he showed up in like 15 minutes.
No shit. So that was your introduction? He took you to a meeting?
Him and this girl named Marin, who's like this angel. Yeah.
And so you went to a meeting?
Yeah, they took me to my first meeting, and I remember...
What meeting did you go to?
It was Addicts in Action Friday night at Spruce.
Okay.
And I was there. They took me to get a cup of coffee first because it wasn't quite the meeting start yet, and I couldn't even drink. I wasn't able to hold down food for that last like 2 months. So I couldn't even drink a cup of coffee or anything. So we went to the meeting, and then I started getting sick about halfway through when they took the break. So we had to leave, but they had passed around a book for me because I raised my hand with no days. Yeah. And they gave me the book, and then I went home, and they got rid of everything in my house that they could find. And then Marin said, this is what you can expect. I've worked in a detox before. If it gets to this point, call 911. Otherwise, I'll be here at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'll pick you up and we'll go get your car. Nice. And I'll take you to another meeting. I was like, okay. And so it did get really bad. And I had a friend, luckily, who was on his way back from Reno and called to see what I was up to. And I said, can you come here and just sit with me? And so he stayed with me while I was on my bathroom floor for the next few hours, where I was going through withdrawals. And I'm glad that I didn't have a cushiony withdrawal, and there was no comfort in it whatsoever. It is never anything I will want to do again.
Yeah, make it suck.
Yeah, it sucked bad. Yeah.
If it's painful enough.
Yep.
Yeah. I never want to do that again.
Barely make it.
Yeah, honestly, like it took 3 weeks before I felt like
A human.
a human. Yeah. But yeah.
So we've talked this. So you were at recovery.
Yeah.
We talked about your childhood.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
I left out a big part
Of recovery.
of why I got clean,
Okay.
or why I spiraled to get clean. In 2014, it turns out after I broke up with Tolly, he relapsed, and I ran into him and I said some really horrible things to him, and I was pissed off. And then in 2014, he died of an overdose, and the last words I said to him was that I hated him and that I wish he was fucking dead. And so
Guilt and shame.
I was just trying to shove that down. I didn't even acknowledge that he was dead until a month before I got clean. And that's why it got all out of control.
Okay. I got you. So that was another experience with trauma.
Yeah.
So we talked about abuse and the effects that you carried with that into all your relationships.
Yeah.
The first time you got loaded, so we were talking about guilt and shame. Is there any other guilt and shame that you experienced besides? I'm sure you have, like everything that you went through.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so did that make it on your 4-step? The guilt and
Hell
shame?
yeah. I was so promiscuous because my only sense of validation was for me to feel like I mattered to somebody, and I really didn't know how to do that other than to
Sex.
Yeah. And it became like a commodity for me.
I wonder,
Or a resource.
I wonder if that thing with your dad and your stepsister has anything to do with that. And then leading into that kind of hostage situation in the trailer at a young age, or it's like, that's what I need to do, apparently.
Like your role models in that area.
Like you were talking about not like your stepsister got the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wonder if that,
Because we knew if we wanted to get a yes from Dad, we had to have Brenda ask him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like so subconscious.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
in your years after that, it was like, I was shown this is how I get approval.
Yeah.
Or
yes.
You want to hear something really, really hardcore? So in my work, I've been trained with trauma-informed care and with mandated court reporting. And in order to do mandated court reporting, they talk about grooming of sexual and childhood abuse. And everything they talked about, I could check off the box that my dad did that with my sister. And as a result, with me too, because he couldn't just treat one that way. He had to treat them both that way so that it wasn't known that he was, like it was everything. It was so crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I was promiscuous. I was unfaithful in just about every relationship that I had ever had, prior to recovery.
Yeah. I mean, some it comes out with sex and some comes out with anger and violence, and everybody that gets here, I believe, has something that they fall on for whatever, the comfort, the acceptance, the validation.
So you carried a lot of guilt and shame from that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It took me to some
A few rounds.
lows.
Did you have any reservations when you first got clean?
So the good news about waiting until you're 45 and you've actually completely pushed full steam.
Ran the full gambit?
Yeah. I really knew at that point, like I had nothing left in me for that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember how it felt that last week in particular.
There wasn't any if this happens left. There was none left. Yeah, you ran out of them.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing, is like I was so miserable and desperate. It didn't matter what happened. It couldn't be as bad as what that was.
Right.
Ooh, good one.
It did not matter.
Yeah, good one.
There is nothing that can happen to me now that would feel as bad as that did.
That's how I felt too. I can relate to
What
that.
about something happened to your daughter?
I'm super fortunate because I came in extremely open and willing. And early in my recovery, I heard somebody share about losing her daughter and getting through it clean. And to this day, I admire and love that woman so much for sharing that with such grace and such commitment to her recovery that it made me look at, if she can do that, I have no excuse for anything.
When my older brother died, I had 5 years clean, and he was my protector, and I had to be a pallbearer for the funeral. This is the guy that protected me in my childhood, and I went to a meeting that night and said that I feel like getting loaded. This is what happened. Somebody came up to me after the meeting and shared their experience with death, losing somebody close, and that they were able to stay clean. It's the only way, we get to help the other person is to share our experiences. So
That's why authenticity, you talk about being able to feel it when somebody's talking. That's why it's so important. I think that's the strength of recovery as a whole. Like people in the fellowship, no matter what fellowship it is, just living and sharing their actual life experience and being able to do it openly and honestly in a way that people can, because you could sound great audibly, but if I don't feel it, I literally just hear annoying sounds.
Yeah.
Like my brain is just like, this is fucking stupid. Like, what are we doing here?
Same. It makes it hard.
It makes me want to leave.
Yeah.
Like I don't even want to be in the room. I'm serious. I struggle with it.
I'm super grateful because Anastasia really set the tone for that with me. Like when we were doing my first 4-step.
Yeah.
We've done 3 together. But when we were doing the first one, she was like, you know what? As soon as you say it, then now you just claimed it. Nobody can ever use that against you again. And I said, you're right.
Yeah, good. So tell us about one of your biggest fears when you first got clean. And then do you have any now?
Resentments. We want to make sure we don't miss that too. We did reservations.
Yeah.
Resentments.
Either one. I just want to make sure we didn't miss that.
Yeah, you're right. Fears.
Fears. When I first got to recovery, I had a fear of relapse. Like I cannot fail at this because I cannot go back to that.
Fear of failure is a big one.
So I went to every meeting. So I couldn't find work for 90 days. So I went to like 100 and something meetings in 90 days. And I collected a phone list at every meeting. I would raise my hand and get a phone list at every meeting. And I didn't call anybody on the phone list. I'm going to admit that. But I had a bag, like a Walmart bag with all of the phone lists in it. And it came in my car with me wherever I went. It came in the house with me wherever I went, because I didn't want to be stuck in that moment where I might get in that needed moment and not have the phone lists. So they went everywhere with me for like the first year.
Net.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do you have any current fears that you're dealing with? One specific one that stands out maybe?
Could be anything like, people with a little bit of clean time, fear of relapse. My biggest fear with like the amount of time I have, my biggest fear right now that scares the fuck out of me is medication for like an ailment or injury or something. I've seen, 100 people go out over medication. Yeah.
It's sketchy, yeah. Like my ongoing fear over the last couple of years is not fulfilling my purpose. Like I feel like there's something I'm supposed to do with my life, and if I don't feel certain about what it is, I'm gonna miss it. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna be able to fulfill whatever it is my higher power wants for me to do. Like I'm not gonna be paying attention enough, or I'm gonna be in self-will, or I'm gonna ignore it because it's too intimidating, or won't pay attention, or stay so busy I just fucking miss it,
It's too much time in your head.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. That's not what I'm scared of.
I'm scared of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you get to hear about it.
I definitely can. I can relate to that one for sure. I think another thing is I have a fear of if I would ever get to the point where I'm not thirsty to learn more or to get better.
Complacency.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know complacency is a killer for those with.
What is the word? It starts with a not like dismissive, but
Disdain?
no. Let's see. Like disconnected, disassociated, like burnt out, disassociated, complacent, kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of
Disassociated.
apathy.
Well, yeah, sure,
Kind of
but
like
disassociated is what I was thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, apathy is very
also just
similar.
like this.
I've experienced it, and it's like it's not a choice when you experience it. Sometimes, like it's just kind of like your body's like response, or your spirit, or your head's response to too much, or overwhelmed, or you get triggered somehow, and all of a sudden you're like, "Fuck this," and it just like shuts off. You know, it's a scary place to be in, especially when you recognize it. Like I don't care right now, and I don't care that I don't care. It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he would call me and I would tell him
2-foot drop.
That's a good one. All right. So fears,
Resentments.
yeah. What resentments do you carry for a very long time that you've overcome?
Okay.
Overcome isn't a word.
That you overcame. Very good. Thanks for
No
saying that.
problem.
Yeah.
We shall overcome, and we did.
I am teachable.
I thought about it and I was like, I gotta fucking say it.
I'm very teachable.
It would have been clicking in your head otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get that.
Overcome to stop real.
I should do that more often. Just to fuck with you. Yeah, I mean, you know, we have to put on the list your dad, your
Oh, yeah.
mom.
My dad passed away in 2019, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever get any closure on that?
No. And this is the thing, though. I got to a place of acceptance that I will never have the conversation with him about that I knew,
That's closure.
right?
Yeah.
And
Maybe you didn't get it with him, but
Yeah.
you got it with yourself
And-
around him.
yeah, and I did get closure in knowing for sure that it did happen because I started to have memories. Once I had that amends with them, on the drive back, I started having memories of like her saying, "Please don't let him take me in the room," which
Oh,
also gave me
shit.
another layer of like extreme like guilt of not protecting her. Like I was the oldest one and like not.
That stuff's so fucking heavy.
And I feel so bad about what she went through and she overcame. She's now in the mental health field and
Those memories, that's that 100% confirmation. Like remembering
Yeah.
that, being like, oh shit.
like out of nowhere it
Yeah.
came. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Any-
say that I have a memory of one of my childhood, molestations didn't show up until I had 28 years clean. And then it fucking hit. So everybody's different, however long it takes. So
You were protecting yourself.
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah. I feel like when we're capable of dealing with the information is when we're allowed to have it.
Yeah, I didn't have a space. I didn't have a safe place to go through that until I got my sponsor, Steve. And then after years of like confirming that it's okay, then I was able to share it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about resentments today?
Well, actually, I'm going to talk about a resentment that was a big one on my list. Well, there was two big ones, the two big monsters on my list.
Okay.
And that was that 7-year relationship person
Mm-hmm.
and the one who kept me in Vampire Valley or Vampire
Village.
Village. Yeah. So obviously I was not going to make an in-person amends to that person. Right.
Hell no.
And it wasn't really about an amends because the only thing I was responsible for is deciding to stay once I started to feel that it was off.
That's the amends to yourself.
Yes. But
The resentment, I'm just to be specific, the resentment is towards him in that situation or towards you or both?
towards him
Got it.
and a little bit towards me as well, like for not
For staying.
for staying, right? And allowing it to continue. And, you know, it was madness. So I had a resentment towards him, and I didn't want to carry that around. And it was my sponsor is amazing. I will say it again. I got to a point where I was able to find a level of forgiveness in that. And
forgiveness towards your captor? Okay.
Because I thought about it, he was an addict.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he went through? Not to justify whatever he did, but
no, this
who
is the
knows,
thing. That's
yeah.
exactly
You could wrap
exactly
your
what I
head around
realized.
it,
I was
yeah.
like, you know, all I know is that in order to get to a point where you don't know how to get love other than to take it forcefully
Yeah.
and threaten somebody, what did you experience to get there?
Yeah. It, in no way does it justify the action. It's just that, I mean, if you're trying to figure out a way to let it go, like, and practice some unconditional love and compassion and understanding, like, for that person and yourself, I mean, really, like, that's probably the only route, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, must have been fucked up. Whatever he went through must have fucking sucked, you know?
Exactly. I can't even imagine, right?
Yeah.
So that was a big one. And I was able to get there to that place of forgiveness, because people don't start off that way and something happens to them along the way, which also has helped me in the sense of looking at my dad, because that one's been a little bit harder to forgive. But I need to keep in mind, what am I forgiving him for? Not for doing that to my sister. That's hers to forgive. Mine is to forgive him for the way that impacted me.
Yes, exactly.
Right? You know, because at first I thought I was trying to forgive him for doing that to her, and no wonder why I was finding it impossible, because that was not mine. But anyways, I got to this point where, you know, really being able to see somebody as, like, what do they experience along the way that gets them to where they are, because, like, Lord knows I wasn't proud of some of the things that I did and what got me along the way to get to that point, you know. And so if I'm not willing to forgive myself and give myself a second chance at life, I've got to be able to give that across the board. That's got to be able to be something that I can do. And that is the premise of recovery, is to be able to allow somebody to change their lives. If I didn't believe in that, why am I here?
Yeah.
Right? So
better than holding on to the anger and the resentment for your whole life.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
way fucking healthier, yeah.
Yeah. So I did forgive him. And then my friend that I lived there with initially, the girl who left, we connected back up, and she reached out to me recently, and she told me that I wanted to tell you something just so you don't get blindsided. And I was like, what's that? And she's like, well, because I'm a drug and alcohol counselor. And she's like, I wanted to let you know that so-and-so, I'm in touch with somebody who is still in touch with him, and he's a drug and alcohol counselor.
No shit.
Whoa.
Wow.
What a trip.
He's probably got a story.
But to my point, like, people can change, and if not for this program, and being allowed and afforded that opportunity, because when I forgave him, I had to be ready to, if he ever walked into the room, I would give him a hug and welcome him.
Yeah.
But it turns out like he had already done that, so.
Well, that's a good story. That's a good ending to that story. What about the consequences?
It's one of those things that's hard to, like, you can forgive them for your own sake, but, like, the actual actions are, that's a tough thing to just be like, oh, I'm clean now, all is forgiven. You know, that's a fucking...
Like, I agree with you about, like, the act. This is what I was taught. So everybody's got a different perspective or opinion. But I was taught that the act, I don't need to forgive.
That part, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a tough one.
The person is who I need to forgive, not the act.
Or just letting go of for your sake, letting go of it is fantastic. Or anybody, I think, going through that. It's just, and I think everybody's going to have a different perspective about it.
Yeah.
I just think that, well, I guess it's probably just my own shit, to be honest with you, because I think about that guy being an alcohol counselor, knowing that he did that to you, and then who knows how many other people he did that to, and now he's just
Making a living amends, whether he knows it or
Yes.
not.
Yes. Making a living amends. That's the way I choose to perceive it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
pretty-
don't get me wrong. Like, as soon as I found that out, the first thing I did was Facebook stalk, see if we had any
Yeah.
mutual friends. I started to panic. Am I safe? Like thinking, am I going to run into him? Like, you know what I mean? Like scared to death
Are
for
other
a
people
little while.
are other people safe too? Like, that's what I struggle with, is like, you hear about that happening in treatment facilities, and so it's like, you're clean, you're a drug and alcohol counselor now, but what about that shit? I don't know. That's probably just my own shit, but anyway. Moving
No,
on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. What consequences
Good for him getting clean.
from
Yeah.
your past are you dealing with today? Do you have any consequences that still creep up? Like a lot of people have, like felonies or physical shit that happened to them.
I think the only consequences that I'm still trying to deal with are restoring and honoring my self-worth.
Guilt and shame still. Yeah.
Did you get that from your daughter? Your relationship with your daughter, is there guilt and shame there?
Oh, no. I'm so grateful that, no, I don't have any guilt and shame there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get me wrong. I was not an angel when I was a younger mother, like in her younger years, but thankfully, nothing ever happened leading to any negative consequences.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Not for the fact that I didn't take any chances that could have.
Do you ever take yourself out on dates? Just you?
All the time. I take myself to concerts.
Yeah. I was just wondering. It fucking helped me so much with self-worth and just feeling good about me. I take myself out to fancy dinners, dude. I'll sit down. I love doing it. It was a game changer for me.
Yeah.
I wasn't making a suggestion. I was just curious if it was something you do.
I had him start doing that when I first told him, like, go to dinner by yourself. And he looked at me like I was fucking drunk.
I was like, that's fucking stupid.
He did.
Yeah.
He said
I was like, that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he like shrugged his shoulders and goes, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it was a game changer. It really was. And it was the first time I got done and I was like, that was stupid. And then, but later, hindsight, I was like, somewhere inside of me, I treated myself nice, and I was like, whoa. All right, maybe I'll try it again. And then I did it again, and I was conscious of that the next time. And so I consciously treated myself nice while I was out, and it made a huge difference. And then I started doing it, and now I like doing it a lot. That's just self-care,
It is.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I agree.
I think that wasn't hard for me ever, just because I was alone so much as a child
Yeah, I
that
was
like it
looking
was
forward to
normal
used
for me.
to it.
Yeah, it was normal for me.
Yeah. That's awesome. So no consequences. So here's where we come into your favorite part, everybody's favorite part, assets. So she slumped her shoulders.
Give us a list of your biggest assets, if you can.
Okay, think about what would your friends say about you?
I don't mean to put pressure on you or whatever. Just things that you've come to realize about yourself that you would consider an asset or other people would.
Okay. All right. Well, definitely as a result of the program, I'm honest. I'm loyal and faithful. In both my romantic relationships and my friendships.
Mm-hmm. And you're proud of that? And
I'm very proud of that.
Healthy pride.
Yes. I'm definitely real. I'm authentic. At least to the best of my ability. I mean, if there's any self-deception still laying in there, I'll get to it, as soon as it comes up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. Like, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to ever think that I've peeled all the layers. I'm sure there's more. No matter what the area is, there's going to be
The
more.
process of peeling the layers is still authentic.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this in just because I want to make sure that you know this. I don't know if you heard me say before, but I'm emotionally attracted to spiritually attractive people. And you're a very, very, very spiritual person.
Kind and loving as well.
Yeah,
Very much
I
so.
mean, we connected, some years back, and I knew right away that you were like a spiritual person, and I felt that part of your soul.
Kevin struggles with loud noises, and he was telling me about you going to get him earplugs. And I sat down next to you last night in a small chair at the speaker meeting, and I was like, I bet you didn't know the biggest person in the meeting was going to be sitting next to you, because when I sit in those chairs, the people on either side of me, my elbows are like in their space, and you leaned over, you're like, it's okay to take up space. And I was like, oh shit. Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's our Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What? Anything else come to mind? You're funny.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I laugh a lot.
We laugh a lot. Yeah.
Oh, and like, just to throw that right back at you, though, I'm a firm believer that when we see a quality that is attractive in somebody else, it's because it's something that is in us that is magnetizing to them.
Yeah. I always think of like the word namaste has like some meanings, some different meanings. And so I like to pick and choose what fits for me. And the phrase, my heart sees your heart, that's what I think of, right? When I talk about your spirituality, is like my heart
Just a frequency thing.
is
probably.
absolutely, Josh. I was just going to say, my heart and your heart are on the same frequency. And
It ties into the authenticity too. You when you're around certain people, like okay, cool. Like I don't feel any kind of weird way. Like we're on the same, we're in the same book for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the same page.
yeah.
Any more assets that you want to mention or?
I'm a hope dealer.
Well, explain that real quick.
The gratitude that I have for recovery.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The next question is, how are you showing your gratitude
It is.
for your recovery?
I am able to express it and instill hope, because I have seen walking through and getting to the other side of many different aspects of recovery. And I am more than willing to be open and honest about that with anybody who is struggling in the same way or needs to hear something like that,
You
or
own it.
or just needs somebody to sit with them through something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to remind them that, like, hey, if you're still breathing and we're still sitting right here, yeah.
Yeah. There's part of that where you do not even have to know that you're saving somebody's life when you share, right? There was somebody that reached out about another podcast episode that we did, and they're from states away, and they heard their story, and they like it. Life-changing is the phrase they used, because they were able to identify with somebody that has a very specific trauma in their childhood, very specific, and they had that hope shot.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what I was trying to explain to you, is like, whatever you share,
It's data, man. Everybody gets to collect data when people share their experience. I was thinking about this when we did another episode of this last night, and I was sitting here thinking about it. And the more episodes we do, the easier the transition is from each thing to each thing, and the understanding and the connection with whoever we're talking to, because of the wide range of information that we gather. Everybody you gain experience, and the more tools that we have as addicts to deal with shit when it shows up, the stronger the fellowship is. And so the more clearly that people can share their experience, and honest that people can share their experience, the stronger we are as a whole. then I think that's what makes it work, really.
It's interesting you say it like that, because the phrase, when I was new, the phrase
One addict helping another is without parallel.
Well, I was thinking of we keep what we have only by giving it away.
Yeah.
Like I never understood that.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Yeah.
What the? You guys are fucking drunk.
And that's what it is. Honestly, like whenever I'm asked,
by giving it away, man.
whenever I'm asked to do like something like this, where I'm, talking about my own experiences, I feel like it's my obligation because of what's been given to me with people's experiences being shared with me.
Yeah.
That has given me that momentum to continue going no matter what I've been up against.
Yeah.
You might hear 1,000 stupid things where you're like, that fucking didn't need to hear that, didn't hear, and you might not consciously be thinking that, but there's a ton of stuff that's fluff, and then you get that one thing that's a tool now,
Yeah.
and that's what makes the difference. Everybody's just out here trying to get tools in their tool belt,
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're at the point where we want you to tell us a story.
Something maybe something funny or crazy, like that, like you're like a wild thing, like when you're sharing with friends, like some kind of wild, crazy experience from when you were using, maybe, or something that stands out for you. I mean, you told us quite a bit of crazy shit, but is there anything that like, oh wow, that was a fucking trip?
When I was living up in Truckee, I was working at a ski resort, and me and my friends, some of my friends, like people come from all over the place and work at the resorts, and so you meet people from everywhere. And me and my friends, some of them were from Vacaville, Fairfield area, and sometimes we go back down there to go pick up people or hang out for a little weekend or whatever, and then come back. And I went down there with my friend and her boyfriend, and then we were driving back up, and I was the one driving, and I had been, I don't know if I'd been up for weeks, or maybe, I think, because I also like used to take hallucinogens like every day for like months at a time. So I don't know if it had been that, but I was definitely tired, and I was drinking, and we're driving back, and then we drop off her to grab some, we drop off her at where we were going to spend the night, and then we went back to grab some stuff from his place, and then we were going to go back to her, right? And we had just dropped her off, and then we're driving up to his place, and it's in the Tahoe Donner neighborhood. And I fell asleep at the wheel, and he wakes me up saying, "Don't hit that pole." We hit it. We go end over end. We're sliding upside down, and there's like sparks coming off. And it felt like the fucking Blues Brothers.
Brutal.
Yes. And so we come to a stop, and like we're upside down, and my window is like maybe an inch from an inch wide still. And the seatbelt is around my neck, and I'm up in the floorboard. And his window was okay. So I got out of the seatbelt and I crawled out his side, and like things were scattered in the car up to a block away. And I just started running. And he's like, "Where are you going?" And he's like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, "I don't know."
I don't know, but I feel like I shouldn't be here.
That's exactly what I said. I don't know, but I think I'm not supposed to be here. We need to go.
You're just gonna leave the
We
car.
did. We just left the car there. We walked up to a house that was nearby, and he called it his roommate. His roommate came and got us. I grabbed anything that was on the street that I could see of my car, and we just left the car there. And then I fell asleep, and then I woke up in the morning. Thank God we dropped off my friend who was in the back seat, because if she would have been in the car, she would have not been alive. And when I woke up in the morning, I could not sit up. It turns out I had fractured my neck.
No way.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. I could just picture you running
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
I was like, I gotta go.
That makes total sense to me, though.
Yeah.
Hey, I hate to cut this short, but we're going to have to close this up.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you.
I don't think we cut it short.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay.
Yeah, we nailed it.
Cool.
It's just time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, we got to close up the
thanks for doing
Airbnb.
it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Renee, I love you so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody for listening. I love you guys.
Love everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here and being part of this community. Just a quick heads up before we wrap. The people we talk to on this show are just sharing their own personal stories. They do not speak for any specific recovery program or group. It's just their experience, strength, and hope. Well, that's it for now, and please remember that you can follow us on any of your streaming platform that you listen to, and somewhere in there on that streaming platform there is a donate button if you care to help out with our monthly fees that we have to pay to produce each episode, and there's a follow button. There's also somewhere on your streaming platform you can text us and send us a response or email or check in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.